Hi, Catherine Kyle here. Welcome to day 2 of the Lean Green Smoothie Challenge. I am so glad that you made it back. Now, a lot of questions that I get are involving the preparation of the smoothie ingredients. So I'm just going to give you a very quick rundown on how to prepare any of the ingredients that are involved in the challenge. So to start with, all smoothies should contain fruit. So to prepare the fruit, just put in the edible bits of the fruit, the stuff that you would normally eat. If it's berries, you can just wash them and throw in the whole thing. If it's something like bananas or mangoes, you'll need to just peel it and then put in the middle. Make sure you remove any of the stones. Mangoes, peaches, nectarines, plums, they all have stones in the middle. Some dates have stones in the middle and some are already pitted. So you may need to make sure that you just remove the edible bits and throw those into the blender. To prepare your leafy greens, if you buy them fresh, you just need to give your spinach or your chard or your kale a very quick wash and throw them in the blender. With kale or sometimes chard and spinach, if you've bought a really big leaf, you might need to remove the centre because that will be a bit more hard and it might not blend as well. But if you've got the smaller baby spinach, then just throw in a handful. So if you're starting, just put in 1 handful per person, or if you want to measure it, 1 cup per person. I like to pack my cups really tightly, but you can just pack them loosely if you're just starting. And you can also use frozen greens, but you have to be careful with your blender. If you've got a high-speed blender, this will probably work, but just add it more towards the end of your blending cycle if you're putting in frozen ingredients. If you're putting in fresh greens, then put them in first with the liquid and then blend it up for a couple of seconds until the greens are dispersed in the water, and then you can add the rest of the ingredients. If you try and add your greens at the end, then there won't be enough room for them, and you'll end up having to stop and start your blender so many times, so it's so much quicker if you just blend your greens with your liquids first. With your liquids, you'll either be putting in your water, which hopefully will be filtered or bottled, or some other kind of healthier water than tap water, into your blender, and then also use your nut milks and your seed milks if you're using those. You can just pour them in straight from the carton, and you are also welcome to make your own. I wouldn't recommend this if you are just starting with green thickies for the first time, because this will just overwhelm you and it'll take too long. But if you've been making smoothies for a long time and you're just wanting that healthy upgrade, then I do recommend checking out some of the articles on my website that teach you how to make your own nut milks, because they are delicious and they're so much better for you. When it comes to putting in your nuts and seeds, it does depend on how powerful your blender is, whether it blends it really smoothly. So if you don't have a powerful blender, I either recommend you using ground nuts like ground almonds. You can also use a coffee grinder to grind these up before you add them to your blender. And if you're using whole nuts, you could also soak them in liquid in water the night before, rinse them and drain them, and then add them to your smoothie in the morning, and this will make them blend a lot easier. But if you're using a powerful high-speed blender, then after you've blended your greens and your liquids, then you should be able to just throw in your nuts and they should blend nice and smoothly. The biggest question I always get asked is, how do I add the oats into the smoothies? Do I have to cook them first? And the answer is no. The oats that you buy in the store, I recommend that you buy the porridge oats, the rolled oats, the oat flakes, because these are the natural healthy oats, and these have already been pre-cooked. They've been heat treated, so you don't have to cook them again before you add them into your smoothie. They're perfectly safe to just eat raw as they are, as they come in the packet. Just pour them straight from the bag, straight into the blender, so you don't have to prepare them. If you do have digestive problems, I recommend, and you know that you're intolerant to grains, don't include grains. Choose one of the other smoothie fillers from the ingredients list, or to make it easier to digest, you can soak them in the smoothie liquid the night before and throw the whole lot in your blender. But if you're just starting, I don't recommend messing around too much with soaking ingredients, because this just adds extra complexity. You can do this later on down the line when you're more used to smoothies. And then finally, the dried fruit. if you're adding in dates or raisins, then similarly, if you don't have a high-speed blender, you probably would want to soak these in the smoothie liquid the night before and then add them with the liquid in the morning, because this will make it so much easier to blend. If you don't have a high-speed blender and you don't want to soak them overnight, then I recommend substituting with 2 tablespoons of raw honey or maple syrup or half a dropper of liquid stevia, because this will be much easier to blend, but you won't have as much nutrition as using the whole fruit. So I hope that's helped, and if you've got any more questions, then please let me know on social media, either on Facebook on my Green Thickies page or Instagram. You can find me on Green Thickies on Instagram, or you can email me. You can just reply to the email that you got the challenge in. So I look forward to seeing how you get on, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.